large part of my deconstruction process is learning to come back into my body, bringing my consciousness and my feeling back into my body. Because it's just painful. It's painful to be, it has been painful to be in my body, to be in the body, not just mine, but even the body of Christ as a whole. And like the duality, not necessarily duality, but like the combination of like the two parts coming out of the body, the physical body, and then the coming out of the spiritual body, like the body, the energetic body, like the body of Christ as in the church, as in the body of people, in the group of people that identify as the body of Christ. Oh, and it's so painful in both senses. Like, it's painful to be in my body, in the body that I physically inhabit, because I can actually feel like my heart space and my chest, like my heart is breaking for all that I see from the perspective of God and from the perspective of love, like all the things that are not in alignment with love, with who God is. And it breaks my heart. But also, when I step into what I have formerly known as the body of Christ as being just like the church family and the hands and feet of Jesus as a whole, like as a people, a community coming together, it's been painful walking back into that because of the misalignment and the hurt and the like distorted truths that were there, that even though like at the time I might not have perceived them consciously as a distorted truth, but I could feel it in my own body that it was not alignment as truth. Like the gossiping and the talking down of other people, like there was just so much of it that I observed, and I'm sure I played a part in it some because I just cared so much about being accepted. And now I'm like, thankfully, that doesn't run my life. My desire to be accepted, because I know already that I'm accepted. I'm accepted by God, and like no matter what path I choose or where I go or wherever this life leads me, I know that I know no matter what, I'm accepted. And part of my purpose, I guess, I'm realizing in this moment is to help show other people that they are too. And that is love. That is God. Putting aside our differences and our backgrounds and our upbringings, and putting aside our personal perspectives, and just remembering and remaining in love and being a loving example to that person or that situation. Being able to put myself in their shoes and know that I don't understand their perspective and I don't understand their walk, or like I haven't lived it for them. I only know mine, but I know how deeply I feel my own, and that no one else can feel mine either. That theirs is valid too. Whatever led them there, you know, God is in them, guiding them and leading them and speaking to them in their own way. And their soul, that inhabits their body is intelligent enough to know what decisions to make, to learn the lessons, to further their journey and strengthen their relationship with God, the infinite intelligence, the creator of all, the life force that is within each human being. And the life force that's in the earth, that is living, because we have our plants growing, our trees growing, and we have, like, well, now I'm thinking about the hurricane that just passed and the devastation that has happened in Florida and North Carolina, my two homes. You know, like, a part of me just thinks about how, like, Earth is this mother who's hurting because she's being abused by her children, us. And that takes me into my own reality of being the mother and, like, having neurodiverse children, and sometimes neurodiverse children hurt the mother. And, like, it's very difficult to keep both perspectives and realize that I'm also that child that's hurting because I wasn't listened to and I wasn't understood. But also knowing that I am the mother and I am capable and able to withstand this pain. And sometimes I have hurt, and sometimes I have outbursts where I just need to let my rage out and yell and punch my pillows and scream. And sometimes Mother Earth, I guess, you know, she's hurting, so she has to let out these disasters. You know, this is her crying for what has been done to her, and her yelling and screaming and letting her rage out. But it's also teaching the children how to come together, how to love each other, and to be compassionate and to be supportive, and to remember that they're divine and they're powerful together, and they can help rebuild communities, and they can help, you know, comfort each other when the mother is in her emotions. Right now, okay, I'm fighting it, but I'm having shame. Like, I'm feeling shame for hurting my children. You know, whether it's yelling back in their face because I'm overstimulated and I can't, like, in the moment, my body takes over and I can't consciously think to take a breath, and I just yell, like, ah, you know, right in their face, which is traumatizing for a child. Here I am, this adult who's teaching them how to be loving beings, but I'm letting out such forceful, like, painful noise that they can also feel in their being. They don't just hear it. It's not just like plug my ears. They can feel my pain and my rage energetically as I let it out. And it's just remembering to go back and to tell them, like, apologize and tell them how much I love them. And, like, I don't mean to yell in their faces. And this would have been the right thing to do, is to tell you that I need a minute to breathe before I can respond. Or that really hurt me when you, I don't know, punched me, bit me, jumped on my back. When you threw the thing at me, like, it hurt. It really did. And I'm trying to regulate my emotions and breathe away the pain that I'm feeling in my body, while also, like, trying to remember to breathe and stay calm through the pain so that I can speak to you and teach you that that's not the right thing to do when you're excited or when you're upset. Like, when we're upset, we gotta pause, or else, you know, yelling comes out like mine just did, or you end up throwing something and hurting somebody, or yelling and hurting somebody. And this is also like, now I'm getting the reminder that Mother Earth is the same way. Like, our planet is going to produce fruit and plants and vegetation to feed us and nourish us when we remember to respect her and take care of her and stop abusing her. Like, she provides so much for us. Like, we couldn't live without the living earth. If the plants stopped growing, if the trees all died, we would not be here. We wouldn't be here. But everybody's so busy, like, stuck in their own little bubble, in their own world. Like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta work 9 to 5. I gotta put food on the table. I gotta go. I gotta do this. Like, oh, I feel so much, and I just, like, I'm not dealing with everything going on, and how misaligned I feel, and how unhappy I am being in this job, and how I feel like I have no free time, and I don't enjoy anything. And so I'm gonna drink a glass of wine every night, or I'm gonna, like, you know, have my drinks on the weekend and numb out because I'm just feeling so hurt and so, like, sad, and like nothing is how it's supposed to be or how I wanted it, and I don't know how to change it, so I'm just gonna drink so I don't have to think about it, because that feels good, and then I'll feel good in the moment, and then I'll go back to doing that same thing every single day during the week, and then the same thing on the weekend. Or, you know, maybe your numbing out is not alcohol, maybe it's church. Maybe you go get, like, to where you feel good in church, but then you don't make any different decisions during the week. You're still just going there, like, feeling the spirit, but forgetting, like, all along you have that same access to the spirit during your week. You have the same access to that spirit in your 9 to 5. Like, but we don't go through the process of breaking these thought processes down and these emotions down because we're afraid of it, and we're afraid that we can't do anything and we can't change anything because we've been told that we have no power to do that because we're bound by the system, and if we don't do what they say, then we're gonna die. That's not true. It's not true. And so many people feel so powerless right now because of the programs we've been fed and the programs we've been taught. Like, why are we not taught about how the earth is living and it has spirit? We all do. God is in all of us, including the earth. When we disrespect the earth, we're disrespecting God. And we're disrespecting ourselves, because the earth is what birthed us and sustains us. And yes, God created the earth also, which is why we're created in the image of God, in the likeness of God. The breath of God and the earth, the dust, the dirt of the earth that he breathed into. Like, the breath is the Father breathed into the earth, and the earth is the mother. The dust that he used came together to create humans. Like, this earth is a part of us. We just forget. We're not taking care of ourselves. And that's reflected in the earth because it's a part of us. Just as much as we neglect taking care of the earth, we're neglecting taking care of ourselves because it's sustaining our life, along with the breath of God, the Father. And we're not tapping into God, the Mother and Father, and that energy, and coming to that spirit to ask for guidance. We're just stuck on our phones, scrolling, or asking somebody else, what do I do with this? What do I do with that? Instead of just stop. Close your eyes if you need to, unless you're driving. Take a breath. and just be. Just stop and breathe. Stop and remember. It's safe to take care of yourself. It's safe to take care of the earth. This is the most important thing. And you don't have to go to work every week slaving away to buy food that's overprocessed. And I know it can be a painful process to like start making these decisions and start being on this path of like letting go of all the things that are clouding your judgment. They're clouding your system, your body, your vessel that holds your divinity, that holds the breath of God. This is the vessel that holds the breath of God that was given to you for this lifetime. Nobody else can tell you how to care for this vessel more than you, the spirit that is inhabiting it, and the breath of God that sustains it every single day without even having to think about it. You're breathing the breath of God. Anytime during your day, you can stop and pause and remember that you're breathing the breath of God, and whatever answer that you're looking for can be found by being still, turning off the phones and the noise and the distractions, closing your eyes and being with God. God doesn't leave you. God hasn't left you. What has left is the mind is so distracted by all the things going on outside of the body because the eyes are looking outwards and not in, that we forget and we get distracted until we're reminded to take a breath. Everything is okay. Everything will be okay. Turn off the news. Turn off the political mumbo jumbo. Like, it's a distraction from the true work that's going on right here in the heart, in the spirit. If you're breathing in that presence and remembering and tapping into that, to God, to the infinite intelligence, the creator of all that is, if you're being present with that, the answers for how to rebuild will come. They are coming. People are coming together. And this hurricane was devastating on so many levels. But it's also beautiful because now communities are coming together. The cell networks are out. Good. I mean, not good for people that are stranded and like trying to find help, but good because so many people are turning off their devices and they're actually getting out into the world, communing with other people, coming together, banding together, getting supplies to help these families that are in need. They're coming together. That is the most beautiful thing. That is where growth happens. This is where love grows. This is where we show what we're made of. This is where we show the future generations how we came together as a people and how we supported one another in love. How we stopped the fighting and the wars. How we stopped arguing over stupid little things that don't matter. and just loved each other and cared for each other and had compassion for each other. That's what this is about. This is happening so the love can be highlighted. And that's what we get to focus on. Oh, wow. I'm just feeling my heart. Breaking open. It's breaking. Like the breaking is the painful process. But it's opening, it's stretching, it's expanding to be bigger, to hold more love, to be more love. And that can be painful. Growth is painful sometimes. But it's remembering that you are growing and that we are expanding. Just keeping that perspective makes the biggest difference. Like not allowing yourself to go into a victim mindset, because sometimes we are victims of circumstance. But it's also a time to learn. Like, if we feel like we're in a circumstance that we can't change, it's because we're learning something. We're learning how to be the change. If you can't change anything outside of you, then the only thing you can change is within you. Your perspective. Well, I had no idea I was going to come on and share all of this. I just knew I needed to, speak it out. So, yeah, I'm going to go get a notebook because I'm starting an ordination training. I'm really excited about it. It feels very purposeful. I'm already, feeling so inspired and held and just aligned, on the right path. I know this is where I'm meant to be, and it feels so good, although also terrifying, because I get to be vulnerable like this and share, but it's what I know it's what I'm here for. I love you so much. Bye.